Dear white people.
Isn't it fun? Isn't it just wonderful to watch the progressive left cannibalize itself as it continuously engages in a purity spiral, committing Soviet-like purges against the thought crime amongst its ranks?
Trump, these white people.
You may have wondered, like I did, after the election of Donald Trump, will the left continue alienating its voters as it accuses them of being racist, Nazi, Hitler-loving KKK members, or will it take a moment of self-reflection and question why it failed to reach out to the disenfranchised middle America that ultimately elected Donald Trump? Well, it seems like not only are they continuing to alienate voters, it's doubling, no, tripling down on its racially aggravated, identity politics-driven narrative.
I'm a white woman. I don't get it. And I am from Idaho. We are so white. So white. And my job is to shut other white people down when they want to interrupt. My job is to shut other white people down when they want to say, oh no, I'm not prejudiced.
You may think that this is just some Black Lives Matter meeting, or some creepy leftist cult group. But no, dear viewer, this is Sally Boynton Brown, candidate for the chair of the Democratic National Committee. What's worse is that the progressive narrative permeating the Democratic Party has taken over every single aspect of culture and entertainment.
Do I tell her that her grandpa's worth more than her grandma?
What you should tell her is that grandpa worked in a fucking coal mine and contracted black lung to support the family while grandma stayed home, cooked, and took care of the children. This is a commercial released by Audi for the Super Bowl preaching about the wage gap. Now, I didn't think that sports fandom was such a bastion of progressive feminist thought. But what Audi seemed to forget is that they're a car manufacturer, and the majority of their workers are men, so Audi actually pays their female employees less than men. Thankfully, Audi was quick to respond on Twitter that when you account for all the various factors that go into pay, women at Audi are on par with their male counterparts. The question still remains, why the fuck is the Super Bowl, a sports event, so goddamn politicized? The answer is simple, because if it wasn't, the shrill, shrieking minority of progressives would pitch a fucking tantrum like the childish pieces of shit they are. Just look at the way they critically panned Lady Gaga's halftime show for not being political enough. Lady Gaga takes the safe route. Lady Gaga plays it safe. Lady Gaga stays safe during boring halftime show. Lady Gaga offers a disappointing melody. Lady Gaga calls herself a rebel, but at the Super Bowl, she played it safe. It was such a surprising thing to the media that Lady Gaga didn't decide to immediately alienate more than half of the entire fucking Super Bowl audience by being overtly political that they cried their little hearts out onto their various failing online newspapers. The progressive left is controlled by people like this.
Dear white people.
There's two things that really stand out to me about this video, and the first one is that she spells white people with a Y, like how they spell women with a Y instead of spelling it with an E like a normal person. And the second is that she just stares into the video for the first 3 seconds, smiling like a fucking crazy person, like she's just so happy and so proud of what she's about to say to the camera, like she's getting high off of her own social justice fumes.
Dear white people, you're fucked. You are. And no, I'm not just talking about one specific group of white people. I'm talking about every last one of you.
So definitely not hashtag not all white people. You're talking about all white people as a racial group. We're all fucked.
Y'all are fucked. Y'all are in real big trouble.
Even the teachers, the doctors, the lawyers,
The teachers, the doctors, the lawyers,
the optometrists, the cashiers, and the janitors,
the optometrists, the cashiers. I'm talking about the janitors. I'm talking about every last one of you are in very, very deep shit.
all white people are in big trouble because now that Trump has been elected, she and all of her fellow people of color are not going to help their liberal white friends at all.
And you are finally, with the coming of this orange president, experiencing some of that. And y'all are falling to pieces. And you really want to rally all of the brown and black people to validate what you're feeling. Like, hey, we're in this together now.
She is just smiling into that camera. She is beaming at her audience. She is so happy about this self-righteous, condescending spite she has against all white people that she's failed to ask the question, what if white people just don't fucking care? After the election, why aren't you experiencing a single ounce of self-reflection? And more importantly, why do you feel it's more important to condescend to all white people than it is to pursue your own anti-Trump political agenda?
Please, brown and black people, we know what it's like to be oppressed now. Now we can unite. But the gag is, we don't want to unite with you.
Well, maybe this speech by Canadian Black Lives Matter activist Yusur Kogali can shed some light on this subject.
When Justin Trudeau responded to the Muslim ban that this coward, this white supremacist coward, Donald Trump put forward, what did Justin Trudeau say? He said he wanted to accept everyone who's not allowed into the U.S. border to Canada. Don't cheer. Do not cheer.
Why the hell doesn't Black Lives Matter think this is a good thing? Justin Trudeau has done everything to accept refugees short of letting one of them fuck his wife. But this isn't good enough for Black Lives Matter. And why is that?
Because we know what exactly that is. We know what that is. We know what that manipulation is. It is what this country is founded on. Erasure and silencing of the real history of this land.
So Black Lives Matter wants to accept refugees in Canada, and Justin Trudeau is helping them reach this goal, but he's not the good guy for this. Oh no. He is in charge of a white supremacist institution. So when he tries to help Black Lives Matter, he isn't a good guy. He's actually just pretending to be a refugee-supporting cuckold to hide the fact that he's actually a huge racist.
When this shooting happened, there was a hashtag that went viral on social media saying that we need to pray for Quebec City. Quebec City is a white supremacist settler colony.
So now there's something wrong with Quebec City? We can't show any fucking sympathy to a fucking city because the city itself is white supremacist. Jesus Christ, nothing and nobody is immune from this race-baiting nonsense. Celebrities aren't immune from this progressive angst. Entire races of people aren't immune from this. Political parties aren't immune from this. Even progressive politicians aren't immune from it. If you're a cis white gay male, even you are a target. Everyone is a target. Just look at the way they're treating George Lopez after he told a bad joke.
There's still two rules in the fucking Latinos family. Don't marry somebody black, and don't park in front of our house.
The most offensive thing about this joke is the fact that anyone would actually pay to see George Lopez. But now Georgie Boy is just as bad as George Zimmerman, the Hispanic Jew who shot some black thug in self-defense, and he's absolutely, totally, literally Hitler because he told a joke. After the election, I wondered if the progressive left would have a moment of self-criticism, but they definitely haven't. They've decided to stick to their principles. But the problem is, progressives don't have any principles. So all they can do is engage in these endless exercises of ego. All they have are vaguely defined buzzwords meant to give them the moral justification to launch endless moral panic. Progressives don't have any goals to achieve. Progressives just want to inflate their ego at your expense.
See, their morals, their code, it's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.